The Duke of Sussex, 37, who stepped back from his role in the royal family last year along with his wife Meghan Markle, 40, was branded the most famous job quitter in history aside from his great-uncle King Edward VIII. Harry, who now lives in California, took part in a Q&A about mental health with American business magazine Fast Company this week. A former working royal and former soldier, the Duke is now the Chief Impact Officer of mental health and coaching firm BetterUp. He said, "ITMV actually discovered recently, courtesy of a chat with BetterUp Science Board member, Adam Grant, that a lot of the job resignations you mention are and TMT all bad. In fact, it is a sign that with self-awareness comes the need for change. Many people around the world have been stuck in jobs that didn't TMT bring them joy, and now they TM putting their mental health and happiness first. This is something to be celebrated." Harry, who has famously opened up about his own mental health on several occasions, may have had good intentions with his remarks, but they did not go down well in some quarters. Ms. Elsner claimed the comments made Harry look out of touch, pointing out that many people are not able to leave their jobs, even if they do not make them happy, because they do not have the same personal wealth as he does. She jibed, "It is this man, a man with a startling paucity of real-life experience, who is readily offering up career wisdom, something that makes about as much sense as asking Prince Andrew for dating advice or Prince Philip, back in the day, for driving tips." She added, "What the joy of quitting trademark brouhaha has done is strip away the veneer of his Call Me Harry trademark knockabout bloke public persona and reminded the world that he is a man who up until last year lived off his father TM's generosity and never had to pay an electricity bill in his life." The royal writer claimed Harry received millions of dollars from his father Prince Charles until the age of about 35. After Meghan and Harry announced last year that they intended to step back from their royal roles, much speculation was made over their finances. He claimed that his family had literally cut me off financially in the first quarter of 2020. Financial accounts were then released that showed that Charles continued to fund Meghan and Harry into the summer of last year. At the time, Harry faced claims that his allegation about being financially cut off did not match the financial records. A spokesperson for Prince Charles and his wife Camilla TM's Clarence house addressed the apparent discrepancy between the two timelines. They said, "I wouldn't TMT acknowledge that they are dramatically different. All I can tell you are the facts." Harry and Meghan TM's own spokesperson also attempted to clear up the matter, claiming that Harry had not been referring to the first quarter of the calendar year, but actually the financial year, which in the UK begins in April. They said, "You are conflating two different timelines and it TM's inaccurate to suggest that they're TM's a contradiction." Harry also paid a large amount of money into the sovereign grant last year to cover the costs of his and Meghan TM's refurbishment of their former home, Frogmore Cottage, which had been paid for by the taxpayer. Sky News reported that Harry TM's $2.4 million repayment also included rent the couple had accrued at Frogmore Cottage. Ms. Elsner added that Prince William now looks like the golden child after his brother TM's various controversial media appearances, especially with his new Apple Fitness Plus Time to Walk series. She claimed the contrast between what the two are doing is stark and even suggested it may be embarrassing for Harry. Duchess of Cambridge hosted the festive event, which was attended by a number of members of the royal family, at Westminster Abbey in London on Wednesday. The carol concert is set to be broadcast on ITV on Christmas Eve at 7:30 p.m. Kate wore a festive red dress and heels for the carol service, while William was smart in a suit and tie matching his wife. In a touching nod to Her Majesty, the Duchess wore a pair of earrings owned by the Queen. Kate styled her glossy brunette hair in curls which she wore loose around her shoulders. In a moving message for the Together at Christmas service, the Duchess said the coronavirus pandemic showed the importance of simply being together. She said, "We have lost loved ones, seen our frontline workers placed under immeasurable pressure, and we have experienced heart-wrenching isolation from those we hold most dear. Alongside this, we have seen how communities have come together to support those most in need. And through our separation from others, we have been reminded just how powerful human connection is to us all. Just how much we need one another. And how loving and feeling a sense of belonging to one another can provide comfort in tough times. The importance of simply being together. Kate added, Christmas is a time when we can reflect on the past, listen to one another, focus on the relationships that nurture us and build our resilience, so we can look forward to a brighter shared future. The royals were out in force with Sophie Wessex, Zara, and Mike Tyndall, Princess Beatrice, Edoardo Mopelli-Mozzi and Princess Eugenie joining the Cambridges. Carol Middleton, Pippa Middleton, James Middleton and his wife Alizé Thevenet were also seen arriving at the event. The concert reflects on the challenges of the COVID pandemic and pays tribute to the people and organizations who have supported communities throughout. Carols were sung by the Westminster Abbey Choir as part of the festive event. Singers Ellie Goulding and Leona Lewis were among those performing at the festive gathering. The Duke of Cambridge, British Paralympian and junior Dr. Kim Daybell, and presenter Kate Garraway, whose husband Eric Draper spent a year in hospital after contracting coronavirus, all gave readings. And there was a performance of To the Day, a composition created for the occasion by poet and writer Lem Sissay. Among the guests were people in community networks, charitable organizations and the patronages of the Queen, Prince Charles, and Camilla, and the Cambridges. Those who William and Kate met and spent time with during recent engagements also attended, as well as armed forces personnel involved in Operation Pitting, the UK's evacuation of civilians from Afghanistan after the Taliban takeover. The concert is being aired on ITV after a last-minute switch from the BBC following a row over a documentary last month. BBC Two's The Princes and the Press, presented by self-avowed Republican Amol Rajan, looked at the relationship between William, Prince Harry and the media. In a rare joint statement, Buckingham Palace, Clarence House and Kensington Palace hit out at the two-part documentary. The three royal households criticised the programme for giving credibility to overblown and unfounded claims. The controversial documentary prompted the royals to snub the BBC and move the broadcast of the carol service to ITV. Lady Louise Windsor turned 18 last month, and her milestone birthday granted her the opportunity to gain the title of princess, if she wished. There was lots of speculation of whether Louise would take the title after her parents aimed for her to live a more normal life. It is not known what decision Lady Louise has made yet. The List has reported on Louise's big decision. They said, Lady Louise Windsor turned 18 on November 8, 2021, and the landmark birthday presented an opportunity for her biggest transformation to date. As noted by Tatler, when Louise was born, her parents, Prince Edward and Sophie, Countess of Wessex, decided not to give her the title of princess. While she could have been given the title, her parents opted for the title of Lady, in hopes that it would allow their daughter to have a more down-to-earth childhood. While her parents' wish of a life outside of the public eye has definitely been granted, it's up to Louise herself now that she's 18 whether she would like to inherit the title of princess or not. Louise is expected to work just like anyone else. She can't rely on the royal family to sustain her life, nor can her work solely consist of royal duties. As such, only time will tell if Louise chooses to take on the title that would absolutely set her apart in society. While Sophie has previously said that it's unlikely that Louise would take the Her Royal Highness title, speculation has emerged that she might, given Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's exit from the firm, as well as Andrew's current legal fight. Lady Louise has been more visible in the public eye this year and even made her on-screen debut. She spoke about her late grandfather on the BBC's Prince Philip, the royal family remembers. Louise recalled their shared love for carriage driving, saying, "The Duke of Edinburgh has been so involved in my driving, which has been so lovely but slightly scary because he invented the sport pretty much. It's incredible to have learned firsthand from him and definitely made us closer, I think." Kate Middleton photo infuriated Prince William, very angry. Trademark. Prince William recalls Queen TM's passion for walking her corgis in mental health post. Princess Charlene's praise of incredible Prince Harry, got to get to know him better, she added. After a competition, he would always ask how it went. His eyes would light up because he just gets so excited when he talks about it. When we would go carriage driving, first of all, he would take me on a different route every day. I do not know how he managed to do that, but tell me all sorts of anecdotes about absolutely anything and everything. He's honestly one of the most interesting people I've ever met. She was dubbed Lovely Lady Louise after her charming appearance.